and replace them with these Meso Custom vent ring replacement. First thing I gotta say, Meso's packaging is, good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. Hey, today is Toyota Tacoma mod day. Little mods, nothing big, one that's not really a mod. The other is a little bit more involved mod. And what we're gonna do today, I got my plates, so obviously I have to put the plates on. That's not really a mod. But I have these Meso Customs vent ring replacements. And this is to get rid of the chrome on the inside around the vents. You guys can see we have this ugly chrome around here. We're actually going to pull those off and replace them with these Meso Custom vent ring replacements. So that should be pretty cool. Like I said, it's a little more involved. We actually have to pull off these trim pieces and then remove this actual chrome piece itself to replace it with the Meso solution. These should look pretty cool. They are black. They do have a little bit of a design in them, so it should look pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the license plates on. I know that's gonna be pretty complicated. And then we're gonna go ahead and tackle this somewhat more complicated mod. Okay, we're gonna start in the front, and I know a lot of you cringed out there, and so did I when we saw that license plate bracket that's supposed to be going on the front in the back of the Tacoma. It's a law here in Texas. You have to have front license plates. So given that I'm slightly illegal on the tent, I thought it's probably a pretty good idea to just conform. So we have the bracket on here, and we're going to have a little high-speed license plate edition now. Obviously it was screwed in. I'd hate to see what's behind it. We're not even going to look. Okay, there you go. I know that wasn't a complicated mod, but it wasn't really a mod at all. But anyway, that part's done, that's out of the way. I will leave a link to these brackets down below, these little frames. These fit perfectly on the Tacoma, both around the front license plate thing and here in the back. They actually line up so the holes fit correctly, which is something that, believe it or not, I've had trouble finding in the past. So there'll be a link down below if anybody's interested in that. Now, let's get on to the real mod today, and that's the Meso Customs vent ring replacements. Okay, on to the meat of the video here, if you will. First thing I gotta say, Meso's packaging is top notch. I don't think I've ever gotten any kind of a mod from anybody before that's packaged so nicely. Pretty cool. Anyway, again, these are vent ring covers. Maybe you guys can see them a little better there. To go over or actually replace the chrome vent ring rings, I guess I'll just call them, inside the Tacoma. So let's take you guys over here. First of all, or the first thing I guess that I'm gonna do is actually pull these trim pieces off. This one comes off, the one in the center comes off, and then the AC or HVAC piece over there actually pops out of the trim itself. So we're going to jump inside and see if we can't pull these off. All right, going to attempt to pull this off. If it's like the other one, I should just be able to grab an edge and pull it off. It's just held on with clips, but we're going to find out. So let's give it a quick tug and see what happens. Okay, so far so good. That's it. We didn't break anything, so I'm encouraged there. Just held on by these little red tabs that you have that just fit in around the radio. So that was pretty simple. We'll set that aside. Let's go ahead and try the one over here now. Oh, it's actually this whole collar piece here. So you do have to take the center one off first, I think. Ooh. That was scary. We did get it. Helps to pull up on the stock. Put it into bright lights on. That way you have a little more room to maneuver. We did get it out of there. You can see everything is exposed now. And again, this one is held on by tabs in the back, just like the other. So we're going to go set these aside. We're going to tackle this more difficult one over here by the passenger door. This pod actually pulls right out of here. We're going to call it a pod. By little clips. There's 6 little clips around here. You kind of have to depress to pull it out. Now, I do have some trim tools here. Hopefully that'll make things easier. All I'm going to do is try to wedge in here and push that clip in. And I'm hoping that that makes life easy. There! And pay attention to how you pull this out. There is a little marked area, at least on mine, right here where they marked it, that corresponds to this little tab right here. So this little marked tab will go right here in the top. And that's it. So we've got them all out. Now we can go over to the table over there and do this where we have a little bit more room. Okay, here we go. First of all, take note, on the back of the packaging, it gives you the order. Down here, they're all numbered, and it gives you the order that they go in. So pay attention to that. I had to check that myself. Now, we're going to start with the driver's left side. So I'll point you down here, and the easiest way to do that is to go ahead and pull the pod out, if you will. So flip it over, and it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, I believe 3 little clips in the back here that hold this thing in. So you kind of got to pull them out gently. You don't want to break them, so that you can pull this pod out, and that will give you easy access to the back of this chrome ring here, or silver ring. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't do that, hopefully without breaking anything. That is the plan. And one more thing I wanted to mention. I did put some blue painter's tape on here just to line up the way that it currently is, so that I get them oriented back in the same way that they are now. So just a little tip for you, just put a little piece of tape on the pod, a little piece of tape on the housing here, or the trim piece. That way you can put them back in the right way. And that's it. We've pulled it out. So we'll set that aside. And it does have this center piece as well. And then we have access to the trim ring behind. So we're going to take a look at that and see how to pull that out. Okay, one thing to take note of here, there are these little plastic welds. You kind of have to break those off to get the trim piece out. I did think that these little silver, if you guys can see them, little prongs in here would do it, but they don't. So you do have to kind of break these little welds you see in here. So I'm going to try to do that with just a pair of needle nose pliers. We'll see. So let's grab the easiest one, which is this one right over here, right there. So we're going to try to break that one. See if that satisfies what we need, I hope. Pretty easy to break, so that's a good thing. Go ahead and do the others. And again, they're just right around the edges. You can see these white-like or green-like looking little dabs. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see if we can't pull this piece out. Okay, I think I've got them. And what I used, just so you guys know here, I just took a pair of needle nose pliers and just kind of pinched the top of each one off. And then I took a screwdriver and just kind of pushed down in the center of it, and every one of them popped. So, pretty easy to get out, I think. Moment of truth. We're going to see if I'm right. So far, so good. There you go. And you can see it was these little plastic welds that was holding this thing in. So that takes out the OEM trim piece, if you will. It's gone. So let's see about putting in the Meso Customs version. And this is number 1 here, I believe. Let's check our chart. It is number 1 right here on the left driver's side. And with the 1 facing up. And the way this works, they have little tabs here on the back that are going to fit in the corresponding holes in the trim piece here. So we should be able to just slide it right in there. So let's find out. So they should just snap right in here, in theory. And they do. Let's take a look at it from the back. Make sure that we're seated in there properly. And it looks like we are. Check this top one here. think we're good. So the other ones are done the same way. I'm not going to film all of that. Same process, same procedure, just make sure you get them back in the right spot. As soon as I get all the rings back in, we'll put this thing back together. Okay, we're on to the last one, the little pod at the end. And a couple tips for you. Once you kind of squeeze off the little weld that's on the back, that plastic weld, having a good pointy, small Phillips screwdriver just to push it through the holes a little bit works really well. They actually are pretty easy to get off. One little quality issue I discovered here, this is the one that I took out. If you notice, the vent here, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but the tab is actually sitting on top of the hole that's supposed to be pushed into. So they didn't get this ring in all the way. The other two are in, but the one on this side is actually not pushed all the way in. So we'll fix that while we're doing this, but that was a little quality thing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one, and then we'll show you what they look like without this chrome ring. Okay, we'll give you the big unveiling here. I am finished. This was not too complicated to do. Let's take a look, and then we'll get it back inside the truck and take a final look. I did lay out the tools there that I used. That's pretty much all you really need. So you can see the chrome rings are all sitting on top, obviously. So we'll take them all off. You guys can see that is the finished product. Obviously all of the chrome is gone. You can see what it looks like right now. I like it much better. Dechromed and ready to go. So now we just need to put these back in the truck. Okay, here we go. We're back inside, ready to put my truck back together. We're going to start with the passenger side because it wasn't too difficult. Remember, we took note of this little marking here that was conveniently already on and matches up to this little slot right here. So all we should have to do is push it back in. Okay, another little tip for you when you're putting them in. Once you have it all lined up, just kind of get one edge started, push down a little bit, and then the other side that you're pushing up against will go in. Pretty easy. Nice fit. Everything looks great. And I don't know if I mentioned, you don't need to pay attention to how this part is oriented once you take it apart, because it comes apart in two pieces like I showed you, because it rotates in there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to move over to the other pieces now. Okay, time for the gauge cluster trim piece, I guess. See if this is any easier to get in than it was to get out. Somehow I'm kind of doubting it. Okay, we got that in. Just took a little bit of finagling. It wasn't that difficult. Wedging it in between the steering wheel and the dash here is what's most complicated. But like I said, we got it done. So now all we have to do is put in this other side and we'll be finished. Sounds like a party out front. I think I'm missing out. That's it. We are done. All right, we'll start over here on the driver's left side. You guys can see the chrome ring is gone. Moving on over to the driver's right side, the chrome ring is gone. Over to the passenger left side, no more chrome ring. And over to the edge, which you guys saw already, the chrome ring is gone. I think it's an awesome look. Again, and I know I use that word a lot, but it is. It's awesome. Okay, that's the finished product. Awesome. Again, from Meso Customs. You can get it in different colors and things too, so if you wanted to match it. I am not sponsored by Meso, so just so you guys know, it is an honest opinion, and I think the product performed exactly like it's supposed to and looks terrific. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this little chrome vent ring delete mod. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye. Hey, real quick, the new RobMotive Voodoo Glue channel stickers are in. These look fantastic on the back of any windshield and match any color. If you're interested in one of these, they're $5 a piece if you live in the US. Outside of the US, $6 a piece. Send me a message, I'll tell you how to get one.